Welcome to Full Court 3-on-3 Michigan Basketball Only Podcast. Welcome back. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Happy Father's Day. I hope everything is smooth. I hope every Father's Day with the, doing their thing with his family. I have a good Father's Day. I was chilling with my dog, chilling with my niece and nephews who came over. My brother came through, and my dad. We all one big happy family, and we take care of the kids. We have a good time, have this moment. We get to cherish a special moment for that. And I hope everybody have a good Father's Day, including the folks that, spend time with their father. And we're going to recaps on the NBA. Golden State Warriors won the NBA championship. Like I said, Steph Curry was dominant. And we got the NBA draft coming through. It's going to be a tricky one for the NBA draft. And I'm going to just tell you this like it is. And least favorite, I got Jaden Ivory or Keegan Murray from Iowa. I like Jaden Ivory because I would see him and Cade Cunningham in the backcourt, but I just wish for thinking right now. But everything's going to be real smooth for the NBA. Now, this is a treat. And this is a treat for everyone that people should know about. We got a coach. We got a college basketball coach, community college basketball coach out of St. Clair Community College. But this man has a very, very impeccable resume. He's not from Michigan, but he's from one of the best basketball cities in the United States of America. I had to give my credits too. We have rivalries too, Detroit versus Chicago. Chicago's own. He got his own resume. Chicago Hales High School. Purdue. Played for the Purdue Big Ten. And he plays for Schoolcraft. Well, that's that I first saw him dominate, having 44 points and 20 rebounds. He put up solid numbers. Saw him in Central Michigan. Fox Sports Net, when I subscribed to Fox Sports Net in college. And Lee University, he went to play at a higher Division II school. He went overseas. And I want to have him join my podcast. Bio, welcome to Full Court 3-on-3. And excuse me. And he coached East Detroit. Hey, welcome to Full Court 3-on-3.
Man, thanks for having me, big bro.
Man, I gotta get an introduction right, man, because we had so much history for a guy from another state to come all the way from Michigan. You went with Indiana, first year Chicago Hales, then went to Purdue.
Yeah.
You do your thing, Purdue. Then you went to Florida, Michigan, when you went to Schoolcraft. Then went to Central Michigan, did your thing, went to Lee University, and you went a couple years overseas. Now, how was that? How was that experience? Went to three different, went all over the Midwest in your college career. You had a good high school career in Illinois, but you went everywhere in the Midwest, and you did everything you did. You dominated.
Man, people ask all the time. I've touched a lot of realms of the college basketball landscape, And I tell them all the time, the only reason that happened is because of immaturity. Figuring that you don't fit, dealing with some family stuff, dealing with a knee injury, also being 18, 19 years old at the time, not listening to the people who have your best interests in mind, always thinking that the grass is greener, So I'm allowed to tell a story to some of these kids about leaving places and going different places and how those things work and sometimes how they don't work. I'm a big advocate on telling you about me and the areas that I feel short in more than I feel like telling you about the areas that I succeeded in.
Well, that's one thing about it. You got players that come up from that area, and Chicago is one of the most best. All the best players come from Chicago, in New York, and Detroit. But you came from your bringing in from Chicago. What was that like, coming from that city where a lot of rich basketball history of competition came from? That's where all the grittiness and the toughness come from, and the skill set. Like, y'all was tough and y'all was skilled at the same time.
I was blessed enough to always have good coaches and mentors, you know what I'm saying? Coaches, even starting back from when I was in third and fourth grade with Coach Muse, you know what I'm saying? When I was in middle school, then going to high school and having Coach London and Coach Jackson playing for Old Gold with Antonio Wilds, going to Mac Urban Fire. Like, I have a lot of people that become the player that I am and the person that I am, So Chicago you grow up watching the older cats. You grow up watching the Jason Straits and the Aaron Spears. You grow up watching the and you only got basketball, you get the streets, but I think I chose a good path.
That's the best thing about it. It's like once you once you get that reputation and you got the competition heavy. When you went to Michigan, when you went to Schoolcraft with Carlos Briggs is like him and Coach Smith were like the top Michigan community college coaches of all time. They won
Right.
combined with that Schoolcraft and Mott Community College 5 national championships. There's no way about it. When you went there, what was that like in Michigan when you first
So
stepped foot?
I actually played for Coach Mike Brown, who was Coach Briggs' assistant. And I
Oh
lived
yeah,
and I lived out in Canton. So I used to work out with Coach Briggs like every day. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of good pointers from Coach Briggs. I used to play against and work out with Vashawn Leonard up there.
oh
You know what I'm saying? So
Sean
I got
Murphy.
a lot of input from Vashawn Leonard and Coach Briggs, along with playing for Coach Brown. Playing for Coach Brown, he gave us the freedom to be ourselves. You know what I'm saying? He's a Christian dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
He ain't like us to curse. He held us to a high standard, And as you know, like second semester, we had 7 guys, To be one of the
I
best
remember
teams
that.
in the country with 7 guys, to be a game away from going to nationals, losing to Mott in Kalamazoo at the time. I think that's where I did a lot of my growing up was at Schoolcraft, because it's a totally different atmosphere leaving Purdue and then going to a community college, you know what I'm saying, where you're sharing a room, you're sharing a locker room, you're sharing the court with the girls. The travel is
Yep.
different, you know what I'm saying? So you get a wake-up call and you start to mature a little bit, because junior college basketball is built on toughness. You got
Oh,
to be
without
tough
question.
mentally. You got to be tough physically.
That's one thing I remember, and I remember that game when I first saw you. I heard about it, and because I oldest when I was a student at Wayne County Community College, and I read Schoolcraft, read papers, JUCO. I was heavy on that, heavily the high school and then regular NCAA. When I saw your name and I saw how you came from Big Ten, I said I gotta check this brother out. And this is my first recording.
Mm-hmm.
My first JUCO recording went down there, and I came in the second half, and I was a little bit disappointed because I wanted to record the first half. I was waiting for the cameraman. When I came in and waited for the cameraman, dude, when I saw you giving work, bro, I mean, we got like two guys. Two guys was defending you, and it's nothing. You was a unicorn, 6'3", 250, playing power forward position, and you was having your way, going inside. And your field goal percentage was 44%. Everything you hit, turn around jumper, overall up under the layup, or go to up and under reverse lady off the post, drop step, and you go drive. You got ball handler skills, and you drive to the basket, and you get a mid range solid jump shot, and every rebound you get, you clear that floor out. You clear that floor out to get that rebound, and you had like 22, 44, 22. I was like, damn. It was amazing. I never see a guy that size dominating position in junior college before, because I was a basketball head, not a hooper, but I'm just a fan of the game,
And I
and I learned
appreciate
about
that.
stacking.
We joke sometimes with me and some of my friends, Coach Field, and being the tweener position now, we kind of talk about like, man, if we were 10 years younger, we might have been able to play on TV. We might have been able to make it to the league with how they're playing small ball and stuff these
Oh yeah,
days, and being able to guard multiple positions. I'm very appreciative of, again, the guys that helped me with my game. You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of where I come from. You know, we don't get labeled as positions, pretty much in Chicago. You're a basketball player, and wherever you can fit and whatever you can do, that's what you just need to do. And that's always been me. Again, I played some point guard on TV at Purdue. I played some power forward at Central Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Play some wing when I was doing my pro stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just like to play. You know, I still like to
Yep.
play. So wherever it's needed, I just try to get out there and produce. You know, I like to make the coach's job easier when I was playing. What do you need me to do today? You know, and it's easy to
Yep.
figure out. You know, even though I was kind of a star player, you know, I prided myself on nobody was going to work harder than me. You know, nobody's going to dive on the floor and take more charges than me. You know, nobody's going to care more. You know, nobody's going to love his teammates more. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was a little bit more coachable then, you know, but I think you have to grow out of that. You let your competitive nature take over sometimes, and it kind of makes you uncoachable, you know. But the great coaches understand that part of it. You know what I'm saying? And then hopefully, like they say, in 10 years, you'll appreciate this, Nate. And at the time, you're like, yeah. And now we're saying the same thing to our guys.
It's like a cycle, you know. Once you get experience, and now you're doing the next generation, it's like it's history repeats itself. History always repeats itself. When you're teaching them, now you're teaching the next generation. Now you're teaching another one. I mean, let's be straight up about it. And when I went to Central Michigan and Lee, when we went to Central Michigan, after average 11 and 5 rebounds.
Yeah.
Then went to Lee. That's a high Division II school, right?
It's a Division II. It was one of the top NAIA schools at the time, and now Lee is Division II. Yep.
Yep. So you averaged like 20 and 8 last season, and with overseas. What country did you play for?
So I just went and did a bunch of different workouts. One of my teammates, Marco Spica, was from Serbia. So we went over there and just did a ton of workouts, went to a ton of games, met with, you know, the owners of teams, you know, and I ain't gonna lie, it was strenuous over there. 2-a-day workouts and, you know, what they want you to eat and how they were playing, going to their practices and stuff. I was like, Marco, this ain't for me, man. You know.
That's understandable.
So, you know,
that's understandable.
Doing some ABA stuff, you know, playing, you know, some semi-pro things, did some good things. And then, you know, I just kind of found my way back into coaching, you know what I'm saying, when I knew I wanted to be around, you know, around the time my son was born. So
that's cool. So after your career, after you finish your career in overseas, you went back to Illinois.
Yeah.
You went back home, Chicago. Then what makes you go back to Michigan?
You know, a little bit about it is like you're just kind of embarrassed that you, at the time, like you don't make it. You know what I'm saying? And I would tell a lot of young dudes right now, like a lot of us have been through that. When the ball stops bouncing where you know it's probably not possible for you to make money anymore, you have to figure out what your next move is going to be. And again, we talked a little bit about maturity. You kind of want to hide. You know what I'm saying? You like, oh, everybody in the city expected me to do this. Everybody in my high school expected me to do that. And then come to fruition, you know, what's the next move? So I would say now, you know, being older and wiser, like, it's just like, man, I need to go somewhere and hide, you know. So Michigan was a place that I was really familiar with, you know, going back to Central Michigan and trying to get things rolling. You know, obviously during that time, you know, having a son and stuff, that kind of sets you straight too. And ever since then, you know, being in Michigan has just been about being close to him, you know, being the father I never had, you know what I'm saying, continuing to push him and make him uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying, with the thing called life, you know, pushing him, you know, very good student academically, getting into sports now. He's a very good kid, you know, and I'm appreciative of the impact that his mother allows me to have on his life.
That's good. That's good, because it's Father's Day, and the greatest part about it is the good part about it is, like, I hear a lot of players that come and go because Ricardo Billings, like Detroit, he was like the best all around guard.
Mm-hmm.
He got the same similar, the same story. I mean, the same story I could relate. You could relate, because he was like Ohio State, went to Oakland University. He was that talented. He was that like skill set unicorn like yourself. And he understands how it is, and other players like that too. But you know what? Life has experiences, and the league, and chances go to the league, chances do this. Sometimes things don't come as planned, but it's the best way to appreciate the moment and pass down to the next one, pass down to the next legacy. And that's one thing about it. It's like the old African proverb: if a person got so much knowledge and not pass it on, that once the person passes away, that knowledge, that library of knowledge, dies with them.
Yep.
And one thing, and it's the truth, because we got that knowledge now 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and we should pass it on to that next generation. After next generation, pass out to that next generation. That's what basketball all about. Today, basketball all about. And there's nothing wrong with nothing wrong with it sharing experience. They can learn from what you experienced, what other former players experienced to it, and go to the next one, pass it on to it, and not let history repeat itself. But he'll let history repeat itself in a positive way. That kid go turn pro, or went to be a successful person off the court.
Yep.
That's what basketball is all about: building character and building new players. Now, to go back to coaching, you went to East Detroit. That's across 8 Mile. What's that experience like coaching now? Now you got a lot of...
Getting to East Detroit, I was kind of like back in my element. You know what I'm saying? Again, not trying to throw shade about where I'm from. I tried to get coaching jobs in Chicago. The political stuff was going on at certain places. Again, it just wasn't my time at the time. But I take that as a message that I need to try to be closer to my son. And I applied to a bunch of different places in Michigan to get back in here to Michigan. And one of my boys that I went to college with, he's a football guy, though, but he taught at East Detroit. He's a head coach at Cousino right now for football, Brandon Jeanette, and he kept calling me all winter. Oh, this job is going to open up. These kids need somebody like you, blah, 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 blah. So I ended up getting an East Detroit job. And we had immediate success at East Detroit. Those kids needed somebody that could inspire them, And the first thing I told them was, I've been successful at this game and I failed at this game, But what we can't do is allow ourselves to pity ourselves. We can't allow ourselves to get down on ourselves. We got to be great teammates. And my goal is for one day for you to be great fathers, uncles, business owners, teachers, friends, mentors, coaches too. This basketball eventually stops bouncing. And I wanted to try to help them, prepare them, to be the best people that they can be as well.
That's beautiful. And that's beautiful about it. That's real beautiful. And that's what the young youth need, especially us black men. Yeah. We definitely need that. And we need black role model figures because we need that. And we definitely need that today. And the best part about it, we doing it. We doing it. Exactly. We doing it. So we are. Yep. So that's the best part about it. And we do. And once they go appreciate it years later. And guess what? Like my father said, one person did another job. My father's an electrician. He said, "Hey, another person move on." He said, "That's okay. It's more to teach." And that's how it is about basketball. And what you think about your experience now you at St. Clair Community College?
St. Clair is, like I said, it was a blessing. I couldn't be coaching at a better place. I couldn't be coaching with, a better head coach in Richfield. I think we match each other's energy. I think we match each other's knowledge. I'm learning so much from him. I think he's learning some things from me. I think we're on the same page as far as what we want to do ultimately with our guys. I think we both understand if we get these kids to understand that we love them, we get these kids to understand that we care about them, we get these kids to understand that graduating, having good grades and being successful, we're going to win the amount of games we're going to win. You're talented kids, But at the end of the day, our job, and he understands that too, and that's why I love working with coaches. Like, in the real world, you're not getting away with that. In the real world, you're going to be fired from your job. You come 10 minutes late. Call, no show. Yep. It's got to cost you because it's going to cost your family. It's going to cost you meals. It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you gas money. So when those kids come to us, they understand that they're going to be pushed in the right direction. Their parents understand that we're trying to build great young men. So I know if we build the heart, we build the soul, we strengthen the mind, we're going to be tough enough to beat anybody in our conference, which is one of the toughest junior college conferences in the country.
Oh, without question. And, we like rivalries because I'm from Wayne County. I work for Wayne County Community College. You work for St. Clair Community College. I love the competition. Oh, boy. And the competition get hit real heavy. And one thing about it, everybody, has got good schools, good college programs, especially in JUCO. The East Conference is always the toughest. The West Conference, you got Lake Michigan, you got Jackson Community College, and we got us East Conference. We got Mott, St. Clair, Hearing 4, and recruiting It's competition. And the best thing about competition, who get the right players, who gets the right path, who gets the right players, and that's okay. Because here's the thing: the best team win.
Yeah.
You get all the players you get. You get all the top players because the transfer portal opens up everything.
Yes.
You get players from D1, D2, transfer over there. Only thing is, once they got them, okay, that's good. You got other players that don't have the reputation,
Yeah.
but have the heart and the grit, and it makes it perfect for both. It makes the competition happy because it's all mixed in one conference
Yep.
of competition. And basketball is like a roll of dice. You get snake eyes, you get sevens, baby, and that's what the competition be because it takes one shot to win the game. And I think the East Conference, you, St. Clair, Hereford, Mott, Macomb, Wayne County, it's going to be heads up with that conference schedule will be heavy
Yeah.
in 2023. And what you feel about your, I'm not going to give you, I asked you about details about the class, but what you feel about the season coming up?
You know,
I just want to ask.
we, personally, we had to address some things in our program that a lot of new coaches, have to change. So Coach Phil wanted to change the culture. He allowed the guys that stayed over from COVID, through the Coach Voss era,
Yeah.
to, and that's the way he coached them to what they were accustomed to. So one of the things when we lost to Henry Ford in the tournament, all right, we looked at each other and said, we have to get some kids that fit our identity. We got to go
Oh,
out
yeah.
there and get some kids that want to be tough on the court, some kids that are going to be gritty. We wanted to get more athletic. We wanted to get some skilled guys in there. And I think we've done a great job of getting those guys. We talked a little bit about that off camera without giving away some
Yeah.
secrets. We got
Not
some
much.
guys that fit Coach Phil's mentality, who's going to fit that workmanship type of deal, who's not looking for a lot of credit, who wants to go out there and do great things on the team aspect of the game. So when we recruit, we're not just always recruiting, even if it's some young people out there, we're not always recruiting the kids that can get you 20 a game. We want
Yep.
somebody who can go in there and be a thug in the lane. We want to go somebody who's going to
Yep.
screen, somebody who's going to lead, somebody who's going to rebound. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, that's also want to come in and just whatever is needed on that night, play that role, impact the game, on a level that's not always about scoring the basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I think we got a great mixture of that. The kids that we have
But
coming in understand, what we're about. They understand what Coach Field is about and the culture that he's bringing there. They understand that they're going to be held accountable in the classroom, on the basketball floor, by the school, you know what I'm saying, by us. So, again, we've lost some kids because Coach Field has been truthful with them. I'm not going to baby you. You're not going to come in here and be the guy we throw it to 30, 40 times. You know what I'm saying?
you're the
But
man.
if you come here, you're going to graduate. If you come here, you're going to be coached. And if you come here, you're going to be a winner. So again, we lose some kids that way, but honesty is the best policy. I don't ever want a kid coming into our
Fact.
program saying, Coach Nate lied to me to get me here. Coach Field lied to me. We're just going to continue to be truthful with these kids. And we told them in the beginning, we're going to be, we're going to be blunt with you. We're going to be kind to you. We're going to push the envelope with you. We're going to be demanding of you, but we're not going to be demeaning in that manner either. So we get some kids that look at us and be like, man, I want to rock with them. And then we get some kids that go the other way and say, yeah, Ford might fit me a little better. Macomb might fit me a little better. Wayne County
Yeah.
might fit me a little better.
Yeah.
So we're not for everybody, and
That's true.
we don't want to be for everybody. We want to be for the kids, the young men who want to come in here and do something special, and special isn't always about winning and losing, special for a lot of kids is getting that degree. Special is a lot, getting out of Flint or getting out of Alabama or getting out of New York, you know what I'm saying? And figuring out who they want to be. And I like that part of coaching more is about helping these young men find out who they are as individuals.
Man, that you took it. Hey, that's what it's all about, and that's what I love about do what you do, and guys like us do what you do what you love to do. Because once you give a young man, you're adult, you give it a responsibility. We groom them. It's called integrity.
Yeah.
And one thing about coaching, and then one thing you bring it back, you guys, coaches with integrity, players are gonna come. The bright players gonna come once they use integrity in their program, it's gonna come and it's gonna come smooth. And you said it plain and simple. You're not gonna sugarcoat nothing. Gonna tell you like it is, and that's what most coaches do. Some coaches, and I'm not gonna be, I'm gonna be upfront. Some coaches will bend the rules real quick just to get a player, and I think it's a selfish way to get players. If you get players off of integrity and be honest and straightforward of building character, like, hey, like I said, it's like rolling the dice. And that's one thing about it. Kids come, they respect a coach that's honest up front. And that's what most coaches need. Most coaches need that type of integrity to tell them up front to get signed. It's your choice. And you feel like you're making the right decision, make the right decision. It's all about communication. And the one thing about communication with players and coaches, it's like a day on the job. Get what y'all want. I get even fair change in a robbery. I got you, you got me.
Yeah.
Plain simple. Up front, up your face. That's how the game of basketball should, in coaching, when it comes to recruiting players, should be. Keep it up front, and let the game be true to the game, and the game be true to you.
Yeah, just
and
keep buck with these young men. You know, again, we talked about some things off air because we talk all the time.
Yep.
You know, but we just specifically, again, we want to do right by our African American kids. You know, we want to do right by any kid. You know, and again, Coach Martin, you know, formerly the head coach at Mizzou, you know, one of the reasons I went to Purdue, you know, one of the things he used to say, and he still says now, is, I'm always going to tell you the truth. And the truth might sting a little bit, but it's the truth. You know, we got to be truthful with these kids about their games. We got to be truthful with these kids about where we see them in our program. You know, you got to be honest with them about the things that you think they need to grow and develop at, along with, you know, patting them on the back a little bit about the things they do well. You know, sometimes when you don't tell them, you know, the nicest things, you know what I'm saying? Or if you tell them you see them in a different light, you know, they try to go another way, you know. But, again, the truth is the truth. And, you know, Coach Field and I both want to coach with some integrity. We want to do things the right way. We want kids that want to be here, that don't have to be bribed or bought in per se. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Kids that want to come in here and work and have a kind of a blue-collar mentality. And I'll say it again, we were 2 games away from winning the conference last year. We dropped a bad game to y'all. We probably shouldn't have lost at Wayne County. You know, that put us out of a chance to even get a share. You know, but again, it just goes back to the good coaching we have in this conference. Don't get me wrong. These coaches coach. Our coaches coach. They're not just going on talent, you know. The kids in this conference, you know, they're gritty. They all have their own level of toughness, regardless of what style of basketball they're putting out there. So, again, you got to get some kids that can win you some ugly games. And sometimes in some areas make the game ugly, you know. So,
true.
It's been a great time, you know, just being with Coach Field for this, you know, this calendar year now, and seeing the growth of this conference after playing in this conference, you know, a while back. You know what I'm saying, too? So it's getting back up there to the days where Rich was at Mott and I was at Schoolcraft.
Oh, yeah.
It's starting I'm starting to get that feel that if you don't come in here focused on a Tuesday or Saturday, you can get mopped up.
Yeah, most definitely. It's got that feeling, man. And one thing that feeling when it comes to playing against competition, especially, let's go back, Chicago, Detroit rivalry. You know, we had rivalries with the Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls. I remember those times, and I remember when we come to King College, and it's got the vibe. When I went to there, I feel a vibe in your city, man. Like, shit about to go down, and that's how I feel. Like, it's about to be some high competition, competitiveness. It's like y'all raise our game up. And one thing about it, y'all, the Chicago got a vibe to bring toughness and bring a gritty about hooping. And when it comes to balling, they ball seriously, and that's why every time we come to your city, we got to step that game up because we don't want to get embarrassed by you guys over there in the Shy area, man. I ain't gonna hold
I
you up.
see.
We ain't trying to get embarrassed.
I get it from both ends now because I try to bring some Chi-Town flavor to the kids I coach here in Michigan, especially with my travel basketball team. Black
Yep.
Lives Matter is the name of my 16U travel team this year. And they're going in a couple of weeks to get a taste of Chicago basketball. And they think I'm exaggerating when I tell them that in Chicago you don't always have the most skilled players, but they're gonna be the freaking
Mm.
toughest. You know what I mean? That toughness and that intimidation of you got to go through me, is something that again, my guys know it. We ain't the toughest group all the time with my 16U team, you know. And when guys want to get rough with us, they go back to what they know, But I've been trying to preach to them like this is about developing. I don't care if we
Yep.
win a tournament, which we have won a couple, but the goal is for you all to leave this program after 10 or 12 weeks and be good basketball players going back to your high school teams. So they'll get some Chicago flavor in them in July. We're going to play some tough competition down there with the tournament at the Old Gold Classic with some guys like Team Rose and them in there and some good teams that are just gritty kids looking for opportunities. So I love it. It gives me an opportunity also to see some kids too on the circuit and when we're traveling too. So I'm not just always coaching. I get to go down and see what team this is and see what guys those are. And I do a lot of speaking with teams and a lot of coaches that I have played for, and they come and speak to my guys as well. So I see both sides of it. I want to go to Chicago and represent perfectly. I'm
Yep.
saying that would be the best thing, but growth is probably the most important though.
Most definitely, most definitely. That's what I like about it because once y'all, it's like iron sharpens iron
Yeah.
when it comes to competition. And one thing about it, I compliment you a lot when it comes to you bringing some players, bringing that atmosphere, that tough atmosphere in the city. Because I ain't lie, I think that they need a little bit of touch of toughness in the city because in my city is lacking. I ain't gonna hold you up. I mean, when it comes to basketball players in Michigan is ain't like it used to be 20 years ago. Ain't like when y'all come in as and Hale versus no Chicago Thurwood playing against Cass Tech, Thurwood High School.
Yeah.
Chicago Thurwood come in, Chicago Crane High School, Chicago
Yep.
Crane
With
came
Gerard
through.
Collins and them used to come down here and play.
Yup, I mean we come in and I'm there. What's that? Hyde Park, Chicago Hyde Park. I
Yep.
recruited a kid named Brandon Dorothy when I was at Wayne. I mean, well, I still at Wayne County, but still, when I recruit Brandon Dorothy, I want that kid so bad. I'm telling you this right now. He gave Henry Ford Class B championship. The point guards, the flux. I mean, the Brandon Dorothy had 20 in those two halves and they cannot catch him. And Henry Ford was the most fastest guards out there, and nobody can catch him. He was that fast with the pull up. And when I saw him at East West University against Wayne County Community College 2 years ago, he gave my man Keyshawn 35 and some change. He gave him 35 some change with the quickness. I still gotta take. I'm like, oh my god, that's the same kid I recruit. And I'm gonna have it, but like you know what? It's good. We got one. We got some in Chicago too. A little bit. Got to get some players from your city because I,
Always.
I ain't gonna lie.
I told Coach Field that too. I had to go to Chicago and see some kids and try to get us some of that swag in here, because those kids are going to bring it, you know,
I,
along with being
exactly.
talented. Again, most people know we got a kid out of Chicago from Chicago Simeon, one of the top high
Yep.
school programs in the country. They're loaded every year. And it's like you said, all I got to do is hit Coach Rob Smith up, who's retiring. He's had an awesome career. He's just like, here's this kid for you, coach. You're going to love him. And then the first time you see him, you're like, yeah, I love him. Can we get him? He's like,
Yep.
yeah, he's a kid. He loves ball. He ain't got the best grades. He can go JUCO, blah, blah, blah. And we get it. And we're starting to get a lot of coaches that hit us up like that. So that's how we know we're
Cool.
starting to do some great things here at SC4.
Oh man, I'll let you know, Nate. I want to thank you for being a guest on Full Court 3
Thank
RC
you. I appreciate
313 show. And man, I've been waiting for that, man, because I've been watching you. I've been watching you play for almost 20 years. I mean, 20 years ago, I saw you. I said, man, this is gonna be awesome. When I saw you at Wayne County, like, get the fuck. I said, get the fuck out of here, man. That's my man, Nasty Nate in the building, man. I'm like, oh my god, with Rich Fields and y'all assistant coach. I said, cool, man. Rich is my guy too,
Yeah.
man. A good. Y'all. It's gonna be good because competition. I got the Birdman hand rub, man, because I can't wait for the competition, man. Once that conference schedule come, shit, but stuff about to get real, man.
Man,
So I'm looking
we
forward
coming
to it.
ready, man. We ready for it, man. Trust me. We got some things up our sleeves, and like I said, real killers move in silence. You know what I'm saying?
Understand that?
We not showing
Understand
up
that?
the world our hand, man. We gonna stick with the poker face, and we gonna let you think we ain't got nothing until we bow.
Oh, guess what? Same here. Same here with us. Same here at the county. Same here at the county. So I'm looking forward to this season. So thank you so much, Nate, and appreciate it. And good luck to your season, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward
Appreciate
to
it, my
competing against
dog.
you.
All right,
No
man.
problem, my
We'll
bro.
talk soon, dude.
All right,
God
man.
bless. Happy Father's Day.
Most definitely. Happy Father's Day to you, brother. Yep. And let me how that is Nate Mayo from Schoolcraft Community College. It's as a coach and one of them Chi-Town legends over there to talk about his upbringing. And I'd like to thank y'all for watching Full Court 3-on-3 Michigan Basketball League podcast. Y'all have a blessed Father's Day and enjoy y'all day. God bless.